Well, remember we were talking about UN General Assembly that happened yesterday and the crucial highlights coming out from that. What we are learning right now is that India abstained from voting on a draft resolution by Jordan but voted in favor of an amendment made by Canada which carried Hamas condemnation. Now, UN General Assembly has voted in favor of Jordanian resolution calling immediate humanitarian truce between Israel and Palestine. Jordanian resolution passed with 120 votes in favor, 14 in against them and 45 abstains. Now, UNGA resolution is not binding and Canada introduces amendment that would have added a condemnation of the Hamas attack, which did not receive the necessary two-third majority in the UN General Assembly, and that is what we are learning so far. Take a look at some of the reactions coming in on the same and then we'll talk about it in brief.
Terrorism is a malignancy and knows no borders, nationality or race. India is deeply concerned at the deteriorating security situation and astounding loss of civilian lives in the ongoing conflict. The escalation of hostilities in the region will only exacerbate the humanitarian crisis. It is necessary for all parties to display the utmost responsibility. Mr. President, India has always supported a negotiated two-state solution to the Israel-Palestine issue. For this, we urge the parties to de-escalate, eschew violence, and work towards creating conditions for an early resumption of direct peace negotiations.
We have CNN News 18's Abhishek Jha joining us on the phone line. Abhishek, a very good morning to you. Abhishek, we want to understand the amendment that was made by the Canada, because what we are learning is that India was in support of this amendment.
Well, there was an amendment to condemn the Hamas terrorist attack, and also there was an amendment to ensure that the peace and the truce is reached as soon as possible. Then there was voting on the entire issue, and about 120 countries adopted the issue, while India also abstained from the entire voting process. About 45 countries abstained from the voting, and 14 countries voted against this proposal. And that also kind of explains the wide divide among the world major countries on the issue of Israel and Hamas conflict. Some of them considered Hamas as a terrorist organization, and the fight of Israel against Hamas is seen in that light. Some of the countries consider Hamas as a force, as a resistance force against Israeli occupation of Gaza, and in that context, they would consider it as a terrorist organization. But the violence is something that both sides have, between the both sides, is being condemned by all the nations. But it doesn't look like the peace or the consensus is reaching among countries as to how the entire situation can be curbed down, how the violence could be brought down, and how the entire situation would scale down at a level where the negotiations can take place between the two sides.
Right, Abhishek. Thank you so much for bringing in all those crucial details.